No good can come of that place. Greetings, Walker. You are not all so good. This one saw a stranger. Kajito.
Are you? Did Caldathir send you? You mean to have... Thank you for looking in... According? Yes! Well, he's... According? Yes! Find your own patch of beach. Not that you'd understand the concept, but the path to Alaxon requires dedication and complete concentration. I must find the perfect shells, or my pigments will be substandard. And do you know what that will do to my art? Exactly. An ultimate concept practiced widely here in Somerset. Alaxon is the state of perfection that every high elf strives for. The path to Alaxon represents the approach we take to achieve that state. Now, why have you interrupted my work?
believe in caution as much as the next High Elf, but sometimes the rules get in the way of common sense. My apprentice lived here for more than a year. Good help is so hard to find, especially among the newcomers. And they took her away. Said they had to scrutinize her qualifications, test her knowledge of culture and etiquette. But I haven't seen her since. My work suffers, so of course I complained to the monks. Now I have to gather my own shells. They told me I could fill out some forms and appeal to the kin lady. But who has time for such bureaucracy? And for a wood elf? I've said too much. I have work to do, and all this aggravation has diverted my path to Alaxon. Perfection requires constant vigilance, so back to it.
A coin for this unworthy one.
A newcomer? In the warehouse district? Unusual. But how can I help you today, my friend? The Divine? Who told you that? If a Justiciar sent you to try and trick me into confessing, No, no. The High Elves would never send a newcomer to perform such a task. But I admit it. I made my thoughts known. I arranged to bring my cousin here to work with me. The ship arrived, but all the newcomers were carted away. For questioning, they said. I complained to the kin lady and anyone else who would listen. And what has it gotten me? Nothing! Oh, my family has been here for generations and generations. Before the Queen's decree, outsiders might have been rare, but we were not unheard of. Our business has grown and gets better every day. That's why I sent for my cousin. We need the help. Somerset is a rare and beautiful jewel in the Abetian Sea. I love it here. The High Elves treat us like children, but they have never been hostile. The Queen's decree has stirred the waters, though. I fear it will get worse before it gets better.
Please, I was once like you.
This is unheard of. Why have you closed the monastery?
Good people, I hear your concerns. But the workers I hired, they were aboard the ship from Rivenspire.
The Kin Lady and I, we have only your best interests in mind. Every guest must be sequestered while we ascertain their suitability for Altmer society.
The old Dark's right. Lock up the newcomers.
Send the newcomers back where they came from. We don't want them here.
Such anger. Raz never expected to hear such words from the Queen's loyal subjects. The sentiment isn't universal, but enough feel this way for Raz to be concerned. Did you learn anything interesting from the people I sent you to talk to? Sequestered, Just a different word for imprisoned, yes. Ranul's cousin just arrived, but Old Newell's assistant has lived on Somerset since long before the Queen ever issued her decree. What about the lizard? What did Zoxolza have to say? Why would the Aldar gather up newcomers and non-High Elf residents alike and send them to the monastery? Does the Kin Lady condone this behavior? Raz's head itches, and not in a good way. Our course is clear, Five Claw. We must go to the monastery. Raz admire.
What do you want?
Listen round, I've a warning to sound about...
Mara, help me. An adventurer? Oh, praise you, Mara, for hearing my prayers. Please, newcomer, I'm desperate for help. My son, Arathel, has gone missing. No one will tell me what happened to him. Yes, I'm sorry. The last time I saw him, he was agitated, scared. I asked him what was wrong, but he left without a word. The guards arrived later. They said he turned himself in, that he was involved in a plot to kill our Sapiarch, Icantar. No, he vanished. They say he escaped. Can you believe it? Why would he turn himself in only to escape a few hours later? They're hiding something, I know it. Please, Caraval, help me find my boy. He would never hurt anyone. I swear it. You have a perfect heart, newcomer. No, Icantar treats us like family. Arathel is Icantar's apprentice, you see? He was so proud when the attestation came through. He's been a bit withdrawn, though. I found some Aprax literature in his room, but it's just a phase, right? You're new to the Isle. I apologize. Apraxic Mer, a people who, for whatever reason, were expelled from the greater elven community. Most Aprax labor for years to re-enter society. Others choose to remain in exile. I feel very sorry for them. Some do, yes. Treatises on class warfare, religious hypocrisy, that sort of thing. A lot of young Mer take a liking to it. I think it's healthy to push back a bit. Not too much, of course, but a bit. Rumor has it that a famous Aprax...
You there! I have a... Damn it, why won't this work?
Did you see a golden knight?
I have no idea what that was, and I'm not sure I want to know.
This manor is closed by order of the Divine Prosecution, so I'll keep this brief. Who are you, and what do you want? Aye, Surabane's ring, will I never be rid of that hen? Look, turning away grieving mothers brings me no satisfaction, but this situation is delicate. The Divine Prosecution does not lose prisoners. Ever. Certainly not frightened. Not here, clearly. You really do mean to track him down, don't you? Fine. When we took Arathel into custody, he was only carrying a handful of coin, a tin flute, and some kind of crude map. Our draftsman drew up a few copies for distribution to the bailiffs. They're stacked upstairs near the hearth. You can take one if you wish, with this condition. If you find something, you will bring it to my attention, immediately. It seems he escaped into the vaulted Halsoriel. The sewer. Gods, what a hideous word. Anyway, he had help. That gaping hole in the wall is obviously quite new. Might have been a conventional explosion or some kind of arcane rupture. We won't know until the Revelators examine the scene. So you would ask my name without offering your own? No. No, don't bother. I've grown to expect these clumsy troglodytic introductions. I am Talarian, Justiciar of Ramand. I oversee all matters related to bonds and incarceration here in Shimmerine. Spilling wine on your vest at a dinner party is embarrassing. This is... Frankly, there isn't a word in the common tongue for this. It is praxiferous. Disgraceful on a scale you outsiders can't even imagine. That's a matter for the High Justiciar and the Sapiarchs. My only concern is returning him to custody. And time is of the essence, so please, be on your way. It seems he escaped into the vaulted hulls.
I've never known such fear.
Under pregnant golden sails, my star-eyed bride of Elsweyr.
Sentry! Raz owes you for that game of cards, and has come to pay.
Well, I don't recall any... You say I won some gold?
Don't you remember?
You have no right to be in here.
No, not now, please. You'll have... The old dog, the monastery.
Are you lost? You can't be in here.
Unusual knick-knack for an Aldach's office, wouldn't you agree? I noticed you skulking around while I was engaged in some skulking of my own. I suppose we both came to the monastery with a similar purpose in mind. The sequestered newcomers. I came to find out what happened to a friend. I assume that's what brought you here as well? A house of worship shouldn't be used as an internment camp, and it shouldn't be locked to the public either. Interesting. I've never seen anything quite like it. I find it intriguing and a bit disturbing. But we aren't here to discuss curios. Strange creatures notwithstanding, we need to find out what's happening with the missing newcomers. The sentry doesn't appear to have stopped you, so I could ask you the same question. Let's just agree that we both have our methods. Curious, but I feel that there's more going on in Shimmerine than the usual politics and community relations. That's the question, my cautious friend. We have a newly appointed Aldarch and a disgruntled kin lady, both opposed to the Queen's decree. What's their connection to the missing newcomers? I was about to explore the Undercroft. Care to join me? A curious pearl. I wonder where the Aldarch acquired it. Probably not important. I'll meet you in the Undercroft, and we... Comers. Something's wrong down here. I sense magic. Vile magic. Cages? These people did nothing to deserve such treatment.
Thank the Divines! You aren't one of them. It's a nightmare. We came to... The monks gathered them a few.
Is that a... scoffin?
Oh, thank you for setting me free.
A Daedra. Here? And that's a scoffin, if I remember my Daedric recitations correctly. Very curious. An excellent question. And what then I'll explain everything later. For now, we need to hurry.
Newcomers? Unfortunately, the magic only affects those who have been prepared. But never fear, your turn will come.
I'll deal with the pearl. You hold off these creatures. The pearl's magic attracts these creatures. Hold them off while I complete my spell. Come on, let's talk outside. Those poor people. This wasn't just about newcomers and opposing the Queen's decree. That was Daedric magic back there. I just wish we had arrived a few moments earlier. I promised to explain what I know. I suppose that now's as good a time as any. I'm a member of the Psijic Order. Our Right Master sent me to investigate a warning we received about a plot involving Somerset. My inquiries led me here. The Psijic Order is an ancient magical monastic society. We served as advisors to the rulers of Tamriel, but that was before we removed our island home from the world. Now this threat has drawn us back. But why are you involved in all of this? An Eye of the Queen? Interesting. I diffused the Daedric magic and transported the pearl to Artaeum, the Psijic island, for safekeeping and study, so we can learn more about it. But we can discuss this further once we get out. Living on Artaeum for a few centuries doesn't prepare you for physical activity. Let the Eye of the Queen know what we discovered, and I'll catch up with you later.
Ah, this one's new partner returns. What interesting scandal did you uncover in the monastery? Tell Raz every juicy detail. That isn't the kind of scandal Raz was hoping for. Murder, Daedric rituals, and traitorous behavior have a way of ruining an otherwise perfect day. We need to learn the extent of the Kin Lady's involvement, and by we, Raz means you. Accuse? Not exactly. Raz wants you to talk to her. See what she knows about the Old Dark. The Kin Lady is meeting with local leaders. Attend that meeting and... A Sijik? Raz has heard rumors, but there are always rumors about the Sijiks. For an island of sages who disappeared more than 300 years ago, they certainly seem to get around. Did this Sijik mage say what the Order was investigating? There was a life-sucking pearl. You should probably have led with that bit of information. Well, we can worry about the Sijik mage and figure out where these pearls came from later. For now, go see what the Kin Lady has to say. Kin Lady Avenice and Raz do not get along. You see, there was a horse, a platter of pudding tarts, and... No. This one won't bore you with the sordid details. Besides, everyone behaves well when they see Raz. You will learn more than I would. I don't feel so well.
I'm hoping to get a passage to Lilandril soon. I've heard the College of Sapiarchs is a sight to behold.
Surely, in an inn full of people, you can find someone else to talk to.
Amber, hair swept like a comet stay.
Yes? And who might you be? The Kin Lady is currently engaged. She's holding a conference. Yes. So you do. And may I say that your outfit is suited...
We all have concerns regarding the Queen's decree. I assure you that I am working with all Dark Takala to safeguard the sanctity of Shimmerine and all of Somerset. Enjoy the food and drink. Business of the city requires my attention, but I shall rejoin you shortly.
How bold of you. The Neberah dares to stand in my holy presence. Very well, bold Neberah. What can the new Alldark of Shimmerine do for you? And please, try not to bore me or spray any spittle on my spotless vestments. You heard that somewhere, did you? I'll have to have a discussion with the Divine Prosecution about how lax our security has become. No, I jest. The Kinlady and I have nothing but the best interests of Somerset and the newcomers in mind. You really are well informed about things here in Shimmerine, aren't you? For a Neberah. You're right, where are my manners? Using a word you couldn't possibly be expected to understand. It means unwelcome. As in, you are not... That's a serious accusation to toss around so casually. What did you say your name was again? I want to make sure to add it to the Divine Prosecution's observation log. For your own protection. I suddenly remembered some business I need to deal with as well. Feel free to pester the other guests in my absence.
How dare you barge into my home without so much as a by your leave? No, I refuse to deal with one of the Queen's guests, especially not in my own home. How did you get in here, by the way? No, never mind that. Since you found your way in, I assume you can find your way back out, before I call the guards. Such innocence. You really want to know why I oppose the Queen's order to allow newcomers to enter Somerset? Because I'm trying to protect both the island and the newcomers. It's in everyone's best interest that we maintain a separation. Alldark Tilkala came highly recommended. He has grand plans for protecting Shimmerine. Grand plans. Unfortunately, in my haste to deal with the Queen's decree, I may have made an error in judgment. Not that it's any concern of yours. But my Chancellor has been unable to verify the Alldark's existence prior to when we met, and I recommended him for the position at the monastery. I assure you, Kinlord Millenthal praised Tilkala to no end.
My lady, one of the monks said to deliver this message. It's from the Alldark himself.
The Coral Forest. An odd location for a meeting. But I need to hear the Alldark's explanation.
Pretend you are adjusting your boot or admiring the architecture. As hard as it may be, look anywhere but directly at Raz. Good, good. Now, tell Raz what you learned at the King Lady's manor. Raz thinks Avanis is as naive as she is complicit, but she's not a murderer. This new Oldark, though, has so much blood on his hands, it looks like he's wearing red gloves. From what I could discover, he didn't exist before he came to Shimmerin. The Coral Forest? A strange meeting place. Raz thinks we should go and see what the Oldark is up to. After I take back that outfit, I might need it again later. Ah, you have a pretty admirer, my friend. The Psijic Sage, yes? Here she comes now.
I'm glad I found you. While watching the King Lady's mansion, I saw her ladyship sneak out the back and leave the city.
The King Lady is meeting the Oldark in the Coral Forest. Raz smells something, and it isn't moon sugar biscuits.
Your reputation precedes you, Eye of the Queen. I am Valserin of the Psijic Order, and I agree that the Oldark is more than a simple monk.
We should work together, yes? But let's travel separately, to avoid attracting unwanted attention. Raz will find you both at the Coral Forest.
This is what dealing with High Elf nobles gets you, Bringus. Please, you must help. I think my cousin Brengus has been captured by werewolves. Brengus got caught up in a love affair. Yes,